What's up, everybody? Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Yeah, another one has left us. Just trying to get over Ozzy leaving us yesterday, and the news broke earlier today that the great George Kooymans, guitarist, founding member of Goldenearring, has also left us. Born March 11th, 1948. Over there in the Netherlands, right? Of course, Goldenearring, the great Dutch band for many, many, many years. He dies on July 22nd here in 2025 at the age of 77 while living in Belgium. Of course, Goldenearring, one of those bands that have been around forever, right? Their career goes all the way back to like the early mid-60s. Crazy number of albums. One of those bands that, fairly biggish band for a while. Maybe not here in North America, enormous, other than a couple hits here, right? Of course, Radar Love and Twilight Zone being their two big hits here. But did have some albums that did fairly well for them. But, internationally, very well known. And George was a seriously good guitar player. Mostly, I believe, playing Les Pauls, but I've seen him with playing Strats and things like that. But mostly Gibson Les Paul was his main choice. Like I said, Fender Stratocaster, SG from time to time. I guess he also played Gretsch drums as well, and I've seen some pictures of him with a Firebird at times. But yeah, really, really good, just solid all-around rock guitar player, and such an important part of the Goldenearring sound for just so many years, guitar playing and singing wise. Of course, he was diagnosed with ALS a few years back, and apparently the disease really progressed very, very quickly with him. I've known people who have had ALS, and it affects everybody differently. Some people have it and they go fairly soon after. Some may have it for many, many years, right? So it's an awful, awful disease. But yeah, at the age of 77, he was taken from us, right? And but to kind of look back at the career of George Kooymans and some of the great albums. So I don't have every Goldenearring album, but I'm a pretty big fan of most of the 70s stuff. Whether it's like On the Double or 8 Miles High. 8 Miles High, very good. I mean, here you have him doing this sprawling guitar soloing in 8 Miles High, which they stretch out to like 19 minutes long on this album. So, if you want to hear some really good early soloing from him, check that album out. But for me, my favorite albums from the band are that group of like early 70s albums. So starting off with the self-titled release here. Great, short but punchy hard rock songs. A little bit of prog rock in there too, but just really gritty stuff. We've got Together, another really strong album. Here we have Seven Tears, which is one of my favorites. And if you want to hear like a really good riff guy too, it doesn't get a lot of credit for that, but go listen to like Silver Ships. Killer song. She Flies on Strange Wings, another great song, right? The riffing on that is just so good, and the song is so catchy. What else do we have here in the catalog? Again, Moontan, probably of the early 70s stuff, probably the most well-known album. It's got Candy's Going Bad, which is an absolutely terrific song. Susie Lunacy's on here. Radar Love is on this song, of course. The Vanilla Queen. Vanilla Queen is killer. Radar Love gets all the love from the early part of the catalog, but they have other songs I think they're even better. But Radar Love is so good. Listen to the great guitar leads in that song, right? Just so good. What else we got here? We've got To the Hilt. It's also really solid. Now we're moving into later in the decade, so we got Switch. Love Is a Rodeo on here. That's lots of fun. So here now, right around this time, the band is starting to morph from more of this kind of like more serious tone, hard rock band with some prog leanings, and they're embracing more like pop music and just rock and roll, and leaving some of the hard rock muscle behind. Although a lot of this stuff still rocks quite a bit as well, as my CDs go all over the place. Grab It for a Second is here. We've got No Promise, No Debts. You know, and this here we have, we're 1979, right? You got stuff like Contraband, Bombay, such a great track. And then what else we got here? We've got the album Cut, which again was kind of a big album for them. Of course, this has Twilight Zone. Boom, bum, down, boom, ba, down, boom, 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 down. Great song, catchy song. Devil Made Me Do It, another really great track over there. We've got Prisoner of the Night. Again, so here we're moving into the 80s. And then we've got this album, which is News, or NEWS, right? But one album that I think if you are watching this video and you're like, okay, I've heard Golden Earring, not really all that familiar with their music, where should I start, Pete? And I want to hear some great guitar playing from this guy. Definitely check out Golden Earring Live, which is awesome. This actually was reissued just a couple of years ago, and this like deluxe set, which has 2 discs, got some extra stuff on it, plus and loads of bonus tracks, and then a DVD with 4 tracks, 4 live cuts on it as well. So definitely worth checking out. And you know, expanded versions of songs on here. What do we got in here? So you got Candy's Going Bad is on here, She Flies on Strange Wings, Mad Love's Coming, right there, awesome. 8 Miles High, and then Vanilla Queen, To the Hilt, Fighting Windmills, and Con Men. And then over on disc 2, you got Radar Love and Just Like Vince Taylor, plus bonus tracks you got from a different show. You got Fighting Windmills, 8 Miles High, I Need Love, Radar Love, and Just Like Vince Taylor. And plus on the live disc on the DVD, you get Leather, plus a couple other tracks, Mad Love's Coming, Leather, Radar Love, and Just Like Vince Taylor. So some really, really good stuff. And George, great player live on stage. So you're going to like all the cool riffing and lots of tasty soloing from him here. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's a real shame. Really good guitar player. One of those guys, again, you know, because Golden Earring, never an enormous band, probably didn't get the recognition he deserves as one of those guitar hero guys, but he definitely was one of them. So he will be missed. George Kooymans of Golden Earring, gone on July 22nd, 2025 at the age of 77. So go celebrate his life and his music, and check out some of this great catalog, and celebrate the music of Golden Earring. And as we remember George, and we remember Ozzy, and you know, Dave Cousins, and everybody else who's passed away recently. It seems like we lost a lot of people in recent weeks, and that's just the way it goes, right? So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell to get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. We'll see you soon here with more stuff. Hopefully we don't have any more of these in the coming days, because I've kind of had enough this week, right? I think we need some positive stuff and more good news, right? Instead of the bad news of losing our heroes. But it's reality, unfortunately. So thanks, everybody. Good night. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.